Chrome driver object. If the given browser is Firefox, you create.
I have a small question.
Yes.
So we can't make it in a switch like 1, 2, 3 switch. So that kind
No. Switch cannot be made because switch takes only integer numbers where I'm using strings. Okay, so when you're depending on the string values, you have to go with if else conditions. So I need to find out the Gecko driver. Let me. Firefox. Let's take the Gecko driver. What is the latest version of Gecko driver? I'm assuming it is 20.0. Which I downloaded on March 13th. Looks like latest. Okay. And you have to make it as Firefox driver, right? Not Firefox filter. Firefox driver. Okay. And somebody has to set a browser value, right? So who is invoking the setup? Are we invoking the setup explicitly somewhere? So how the setup method is invoked? Are we invoking it? The testng is invoking it before every test method. The testng is invoking the before method. In our case, that is setup. And after the test method, it will be invoking the after method. Am I right? Okay. So when testng is invoking the setup, the before method, when testng is invoking the before method, that is in our case setup, the testng has to pass the browser value, right? So one thing you need to remember, the before method is called by testng. When testng is calling the before method, and it has to take a responsibility of sending the browser value. Is that clear? Any questions? So based on the browser value only, we are deciding Chrome or Firefox. Okay, testng has to send the browser value. So where and how it will be sending, I'll explain that. Okay, but is that clear so far?
So this value Chrome or Firefox is a input value, isn't it?
Yes, it's an input value parameter. And testng can able to pass the data only from the testng.xml. Okay, so let's add the parameters. The concept which I'm explaining is about, please take a heading, testng parameterization. Testng parameterization. So if testng wants to send some data to the annotation such as before method or before class, so you can use testng parameterization concept. Go to TestNG documentation. Here you can see okay. You have to give the parameter something like this. Let's say I want to run login test on Chrome. And let's say I wanted to run profile test on Firefox. Okay. These are the parameters. Parameters can be given at test level or at suite level. You can give it suite level. If you give it suite level, that particular parameter is applicable and available for every test tag. Okay. If you give it test level, that is available and applicable only for that particular test tag. Okay. And so this is how you pass the parameters from the testng.xml. This is how you set the parameters or define the parameters in the testng.xml. And in the base test, you have to receive those data. That is like something like this you have to do. Okay. Click on here, import it. Make sure you import from org testng annotations, not from anything else. So what we are discussing testng parameterization. In the testng parameterization, you give the parameter here, something like this, name and value. And when you execute the testng.xml, the data will be passed on to the testing code. Okay, will be passed on to the annotations. So here you are receiving it. Make sure the name should match. In the testing.xml, I'm passing the browser. The name is browser. Okay. In the base test also, you have to receive the browser. The name should match, otherwise it will not work. And this is a variable name. This can be anything. It doesn't matter. Okay. So this is one thing. And you can pass multiple parameters. You can pass multiple parameters on XYZ. And when you pass multiple parameters, the method also should receive multiple parameters. Okay. When you receive multiple parameters, make sure your method also can accept multiple parameters.
So, Sudhir, for multiple browsers, we need to have multiple parameters?
No, one parameter should be enough. Right, for now, one parameter should be enough.
Okay.
Okay, so let's run the code. So before I run the code, I want all of you to have a heading testng parameterization, and please take this data up to here. And also, I want you to take this one up to here. These are the two things. Take one by one. Let's take the first one. That is this one up to here. Let me know once you're done. Let's check the other stuff.
Can you just give me that testing?
Yeah, okay, yeah, please take it.
Then I'm done.
Yeah, please take this one. These 3 lines. Okay, let's move on. So let's execute the test and see what happens. So from now onwards, you cannot execute the test aloud. Like this, you cannot execute. So the reason is you have to pass the data to the setup method, the browser value you have to pass. Okay, so that's the reason you're supposed to run from the testng.xml only from now onwards. Okay, so if you want to run only the first one, you can comment out the second one. Okay, and if you want to run the second one, you make sure you comment out the first one. That's how you have to work on, because from now onwards in the base test, the setup method is expecting a parameter, right? A parameter value, the browser value it is expecting, and that one you are sending from the testng.xml only, right? You have to execute from the testng.xml only. Okay, I'm running the testng.xml. So one thing you need to make sure. Okay, let me stop it first of all. I'll close all the browsers. So you can observe the login test will be executed on the Chrome and the other test will be executed on the Firefox. Okay, that's how the login is on the Chrome and the profile is on the Firefox browser. Okay, so let's run it and make sure the Chrome is executing, the Chrome browser is open. Now you can see that the Firefox is also opened. It got failed. Why it is failed? Username or email? The profile test is failed. So this is how you debug. Something is fails. Okay. So first thing you see at the top, it says that no such element exception. You're trying to find out something, but that is not available. That is nothing but no such element exception. Okay, you're trying to find out an element that is not available. So it will also tell you unable to locate an element, which element you're trying to locate. So you're trying to locate an element called username or email that is not available. Okay, so some information you got. And now if you see from the bottom to the top, you'll get to know in which class, in which method, in which line the exception is raised. Okay, so you try to avoid all the classes which are not returned by you. Okay, so if you see abstract remote test, this is not written by me or by you, right? So if you see this one, locating element, default element locator, remote WebDriver, by.java, so all these things are not written by us, right? So this test code or this code is not written by us. You have to focus, or you have to find out the classes which are returned by you. Okay, so that way if you come from the bottom to the top, you always, if you want to find out in which line the code has failed, if you want to know that, you have to always look from bottom to the top. So if you come here, this is not the code which is written by me, ignore it, go to this one. Okay, profile test is written by me, click on this. So this is where the problem started. Okay, and from here it is gone to login page. Okay, set username, and then it gone to here. Okay, and then it's gone, it is out of control. Okay, so this is where the exception is actually raised. And how do we came to this level? So it is actually started from here, from this line, you go inside, and then that's where it has failed. So basically in this test, in this line number 45, the exception is raised. So why it is not executed? What happened? Two problems I see: home page, login page, dashboard page, profile page. Okay, let's run it once again, we'll find out. Okay, when we run it next time, we'll try to see the problem. Okay, we'll figure it out why it has failed, and we'll do some debugging. Okay, so that is how you run the testengine.xml, and that is how you do the parameterization, and that's how you can run your test code, one in Chrome and one in Firefox. Okay, you will be doing all these things. So there is one more thing. Please take another heading: parallel execution. Testng parallel execution. Please take the heading. TestNG parallel execution, very important. TestNG parallel execution. So if you want to run the test classes in the paralleling, okay, there is an attribute called parallel. Okay, let's go to the Chrome browser or any other browser. Type testng.org. For anything and everything about TestNG, you can refer this documentation. Go to documentation. Look for parallel. Okay, parallel. You can take this attribute parallel and equal to test. Okay, you can run the parallel. You can run all the test methods parallelly. You can run all the test parallelly. You can run all the classes parallelly. You can also run all the instances parallelly. But the one which we'll be using is test. So what happens? This particular test and this particular test both will run in parallel. Both will run in parallel. Okay. So for example, if this is having two test classes. Okay, if this is having two test classes, one is login test and other one is login test one. What happens is, please carefully observe. First of all, this one and this one, login and profile. These two things will run parallel. These two things will run parallel. So when this is executed, okay, when this one is executed, one second. Okay, so these two tests will run in parallelly. Okay, when it comes to login, so login test will execute, and then login test one will execute after the login test. Okay, these two things will be executing in sequentially. Okay, so inside the test, the classes will be executed in sequentially, but these two tests will start executing parallelly. So what happens? To tell you exactly, login test will execute first. Okay, and profile test also will execute simultaneously. Once the login test is completed, then login test 1 will be executed. So this is how it will be executed. Okay, but for now we have only login test and profile test. So let's make sure the login test and profile test both are executing in parallel. Okay, so let's see that. I'm closing all the browsers. You can see one running on the Chrome and one running on the Firefox. Everything is executed, but some of them are failing. Okay, some of them are failing. Okay, so I suspect we should give some weight. I'll explain this one. Also you can move it to here. And this one also you can move it to here. So you can keep in the if else conditions, you can keep only the driver creation. Okay. So whatever the driver that has created, whatever the driver that was created, and after that you maximize it and you open the URL, you manage the implicit wait. So this is very important concept, implicit wait. So probably this is not set, could be the reason the tests are failing. So what this implicit wait will do? This is called implicit wait. In Selenium, there are two mechanisms. One is implicit wait and the other one is explicit wait. Can you take the concept wait mechanism in Selenium? I'll explain one by one. Wait mechanism in Selenium. Implicit wait. Second one is explicit wait. Okay. So probably as we are not set any wait mechanism, could be the reason that tests are failed. Okay. As a test are failed, I'm explaining this concept. Okay. Yeah, please take this notes and let me know once you're done. There are two types of test: implicit wait and explicit wait. Please take this notes up to here and let me know once you're done. I'll explain the concept, but before that, please take the notes.
So Sudhir, how do you understand which kind of exception is for weight or which kind of exception is for other things? How to decide
Yeah.
that?
Okay. Um, First of all, no such element. This is the no such element exception. What could be the reason it is coming? So it is unable to find the element, right?
Yes.
Be one reason, a very simple reason, that is the element might have changed, right? The element might have changed. If the element might have changed, why the second test is working? Okay, so that means the element information is correct. And the second suspect is the weight. I'll explain this point. I'll explain this point.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, please take this notes, all of you, and let me know once you're done. I'll explain this. Yeah. Uh, why do we need to give implicit weight? That I have given now. I hope everybody might have observed it. I have given the implicit weight. So the reason is, very important. I request all of you to please focus and listen to it and ask me the questions if you have anything. Okay. The first thing, let's say you're trying to find out an element. So how do you find the element? What is the code? Can somebody tell me? If you want to find the element, what is the code?
So find element equal to WebDriver.
Yeah, almost correct, but I need the exact one. Can somebody give me the answer? How do you find the element? What is the Selenium code which you write to find an element? You can look at your notes.
Web element and name of the element equal to driver
Mhm.
find element.
Correct.
Bracket.
Go ahead.
You have to write
Mhm.
like ID or name or
Yeah,
tag.
by locator, by ID or by
By
name or by
locator.
whatever. Okay. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So let's say you are finding an element. You are finding an element. When you are finding an element, where you are finding the element? In the web page. Agree, all of you. You are finding the element on a web page. Okay. So when you are finding an element, what if the page is not loaded? What if the element is not available? So you're trying to find an element. You're trying to find an element on the web page. Unfortunately, the page is not loaded, or the page is still loading and the element is not yet visible. what happens? How much time find element will wait for the element to appear? 0 second, 10 second, 20 second, 30 second. What is the answer?
So there must be some default weight in there.
What is the default weight? Is it 0, 10, 20, 30? You're right. What is the default weight?
Assuming it's kind of 10 seconds.
Okay. So the answer is 0 second. 0 second. So when you are trying to find out an element, and if the element is not loaded, the method find element will not wait for the element. It just fail. It will just fail. If the element is available, it will return the element. Otherwise, it will fail. Immediately, it will be failed. Okay, so that's the reason I said 0 second. So it is obvious that, right? So it is very much obvious when you are opening a application will take some time to load. And elements also, similarly, elements also will take some time to load and appear on the web page. If you're not waiting for the element, it is obvious that it will fail. Okay, so that is the reason we use implicit wait. Implicit wait is applicable on the driver whenever the driver is finding for the element. Whenever the driver is finding the element, it will maximum wait for the given time. That is, in our case, 30 seconds. The find element will wait for the element up to 30 seconds. Up to 30 seconds. Up to 30 seconds. I'm repeating, up to 30 seconds. It is nothing but if the element is available in 10 seconds, if element is available in 10 seconds, okay, it will not wait for remaining 20 seconds. Okay, if the element is available in 20 seconds, it will not wait for the remaining 10 seconds. If the element is not available even after 30 seconds, it will throw exception. It throw no such element exception. Okay, so I have given the implicit wait now 30 seconds. It means that it will wait for the element up to 30 seconds. Whenever the driver is finding for the element, it will wait for up to 30 seconds. Okay, 30 seconds should be enough. So let me run the code once again and see this time if any luck.
Another question to you.
Yes, just a minute, I'll take it. We'll try to observe this time any luck. Some list I'll take, just a minute. See, you see Firefox, how much time it is taking to load the page. Now it is working. Looks like it is very much working. Okay, now you see everything is working. Everything is working. So previously many of them are failing, some of them are failing, but now everything is working. Okay. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, so my question is, so where did you check the first one was not working and the second one was working? So where did you see them?
Here only, when you just click on this, it will show you the error message.
Okay.
So when you click on the one which is failing, it will, in the next tab, in the next pan, it will show the exception, reason, and all the information. Or you can also go to the HTML report. You can also go to the HTML report, where the HTML report will be generated in the current project. If you refresh in the current project, there is a folder called test output. I'll show you that. Wait a second. If you refresh the project, there is a folder called test output. Here you can see the HTML report. Open with index.html. Open with web browser. Here you can see how many are passed, how many are failed. So in our case, 3 are executed, 3 are passed.
Okay, thank you.
Fine. Before I move on to the next topic, let's take some 5 minutes of break, and we'll come back and we'll discuss other topics. So let's take 5 minutes of break, and let me know once you're done. Yeah, we'll connect at 9:07. Yeah, is everybody there? Thanks. So that is what we are doing on. So we'll also explain one more concept. So we talked about implicit weight, right? There is one more concept called explicit weight. Okay, so very similar to the implicit weight, but there is a purpose of using the explicit weight. So let's take there are some elements A, B. There is element A, element B, element C, D, E, F. Okay, and by default you might have given implicit weight as 30 seconds. Assume you have given implicit weight as 30 seconds. When I'm finding the element, when the driver is finding the element, either B or C or D or E, F, whatever it is. Okay, how much maximum time the driver will wait for the element? If the given implicit wait is 30 seconds, how much time the driver will wait for the element when it is finding? If the given implicit wait is 30 seconds,
Up to
when
30
you're
seconds.
up to 30 seconds, okay, up to 30 seconds. If I give 40, up to 40 seconds, correct?
Yes.
Fine. So let's say, so when you're finding the element, the maximum time you will wait for the element is 30 seconds because you set implicit wait as 30 seconds. Okay, so that is clear. Any questions on that? If you understand, then only I can able to explain you explicit wait.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks. Now let's take element A is taking some 20 seconds to appear on the web page. Element A is able to display on the web page only after 20 seconds. Okay, when the page is loading, so element A is taking some time to display on the web page. Element A is taking some time to visible on the web page, that is 20 seconds. If element A is taking 20 seconds, will you able to find the element? Will it work or not? Will you be able to find the element?
Yes.
Okay, element B is taking 40 seconds to appear on the web page. So if you're finding the element, will you able to find the element B? It is taking 40 seconds.
No.
Any reason why it is not able to foundable?
Because we have defined the timing up to 30 seconds, so it's crossing the 30.
We have defined the implicit wait 30 seconds. Okay, so you cannot wait for the element beyond 30 seconds. Anything above the 30 seconds, the find element method will fail. Clear, everybody? If element C is taking some 10 seconds to display on the page, will it work? Yes or no?
Yes.
So if element D is taking 60 seconds, will it work? Will this element will be found?
No again.
Not found. Okay, tell me one thing. If I need to make sure that the element D also can be foundable, then what should I do? One simple approach is I can change it to 60 seconds. Am I right? I can change the implicit wait to 60 seconds. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. Element E is taking 120 seconds. Again, the maximum wait is 60 seconds and it is taking 120 seconds. It cannot be found. I can change it to 120 seconds. And F is taking 360 seconds. It is taking almost 5 seconds to display on the web page. And to make sure this element also should found, I have to increase it to 360 seconds. Okay. Now tell me how many elements can be foundable and how many cannot be if the implicit wait is 360 seconds.
All of them can be foundable.
All of them can be foundable. Okay, agree and correct. So any problem in this approach? Implicit wait is 360 seconds. Any problem in this approach?
Yeah, it's taking long time, and we don't know exactly how much we have to uh, define it. So
Okay, I'll give you one example. We know that if the element is found in 20 seconds, okay, will it wait for the remaining time? Yes or no?
no,
No. Then what is the problem? You are not waiting for the remaining time. No, if the element is found in 20 seconds, you are moving to the next element, right? You're not waiting for the remaining time. So if that is the case, what is the issue?
another error handling.
Any?
Another error will come.
No, it will not come. No, it will not come. If the element is found in 20 seconds, you will not wait for the remaining time, and you move on to the next step. There is no problem.
But other elements are not found within that time frame.
Other, let's say now the turn comes to B. Even B is foundable, right? Your implicit wait maximum time is 360 seconds, and you only need 40 seconds. It is foundable, and remaining 320 seconds will not be. You will not be wait for the remaining 320 seconds. So this way there won't be any problem as long as the elements are found, as long as the elements are appearing, as long as the elements are foundable, you don't see any problem. Okay, but let's assume a worst case scenario. Let's assume a worst case scenario. So you're running your automation code, but for some reason the internet is down, or your application itself is not accessible or responsible. Your application itself is not connecting. Then what happens? None of the elements can be foundable. None of the elements can be foundable. In that case, every element will take maximum of 360 seconds. Every element will take maximum of 360 seconds. And just for 4-5 elements, you will wait for almost 30 to 1 hour. That is not correct approach. Okay, so the maximum wait that you are allowing is 360 seconds. And if none of the elements are available, and the automation code will take for every element 5 minutes. 5 into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 into 5 minutes into 6 is equal to 30 minutes. Unnecessarily 30 minutes you are wasting. That is a problem. Okay, in an application there will be thousands of elements, and think about 1000 into 5 minutes. Okay, your application will never be executable. Your application will never come back. Your automation code will never come back. It will be keep executing. Okay, so that is the reason it is not recommended to give implicit wait not more than 30 to 60 seconds. You can give up to 30 to 60 seconds. I recommend 30. Okay, so some people give 40 or 50 or 60. Maximum 60 is okay. Okay, now if I give 30 seconds, how much time it will take? In the worst case scenario also, 30 seconds into 6 elements, how much? 30 into 6, 180, 3 minutes. So whereas 5 minutes into 6, that is 30 minutes, and whereas 3 minutes. Okay, so you also have to think about the positive scenarios as well as the worst case scenarios. If you give 30 seconds, even in the worst case, if every element taking 30 seconds, it will maximum wait for 3 minutes altogether. If you give 360 seconds to make sure that all the elements can be foundable, it will take 5 minutes into 6, that is 30 minutes. In the worst case scenario, I'm telling. Okay, so that is the reason it is not recommendable to keep the implicit weight more than 30 seconds. You can keep 30 seconds to 3000 seconds also, there is no problem, but it is not recommendable. Okay, fine. So coming to the point, so if I give 30 seconds, how many elements can be foundable? Element A is foundable, element C is foundable, and rest of the elements are not foundable. Okay, and for these elements you have to apply explicit weight. For these elements alone, you have to apply explicit weight. Whichever the element which is taking more than the implicit weight, that could be 30 or 60, whatever it is, whichever the element which is taking more than the implicit weight, you have to give explicit weight for that element. Okay, you have to give explicit weight for that element. So to give the explicit weight, the code is like this. I'll write the code. For example, if you want to give, okay, so let's see this. For example, if you want to give explicit weight for this element, assume if you want to give explicit weight for this element, thinking that this element is taking more than the 30 seconds. Thinking that this element is taking more than the implicit weight, that is 30 seconds. You can give explicit weight. So for that, the code, how do you apply the explicit weight? WebDriver weight, driver weight, new WebDriver weight, that is the driver object, and let's say it is taking 60 seconds. You can give 60. It is 60. Okay. And driver weight dot until, this is the statement you can remember, expected dot visibility of element located by element. This is how you write the code. So you don't write driver.find element. Instead, you'll write in a different approach. Okay. We'll be writing in a different approach. So please take these 3 lines of code.
So this 60 is the minimum wait time we have defined.
It's a minimum, not minimum, it's a maximum wait time. Okay. So you will be waiting for this element up to 60 seconds. And this 60 seconds is applicable only for this element, and for rest of the elements the implicit wait is applicable, that is 30 seconds. If you see the implicit wait, I have given 30 seconds. So implicit wait is applied at the driver level. Every time you are finding the element, every time you are finding the element, the implicit weight is applicable, and explicit weight is applicable only to the particular element. Okay, only for this element I used explicit weight. For rest of the elements, so the implicit weight is applied.
But here also we define the time frame.
Yeah, here also we have to define the time. Here also we have to define the time. That is mandatory.
So this is defined at the which level?
Element level.
Okay.
Only for this element, and this is how you have to define the explicit weight. You can use the visibility of element located, the presence of element located. There are multiple conditions are there. Yeah, please take this explicit weight also. Yeah, please take up to here and let me know once you are done. Okay. Yeah, any other questions? I'll show you one more simple topic. Okay. So one more simple topic I'll show you today, and after this, I'll end the session. Between, if anybody has any questions, after this topic we'll discuss and we'll wind up. So how to take the screenshot up? So there are two questions on this topic. The first question is, how do you take the screenshot in Selenium? That is the first question. And the second question is, when do you take the screenshot? Okay, that is the second question. So generally, when do you take the screenshot? For every test, for every test step that you are executing, you take the screenshot. For every test method, you take the screenshot. Or whenever there is a failure, you take the screenshot. What is the general scenario?
We generally take the screenshot at when there is an error.
Yeah. So generally, we take the screenshot when there is error or when there is an exception, so that it will give you some information. So why the test is failed, why there is an exception or a failure happened at this moment. It'll give you some enough information, some more information to find out the issue easily and to fix your test code or to find the bug, whatever it is. Generally, we take the screenshot during the failure scenario. Okay, so if you take the screenshot for every positive scenario or for every test method, then what happens? If there are 1,000 test methods in your code, if there are 1,000 test methods, there will be 1,000 screenshots will be there, and 1,000 screenshot means it will be huge memory. It will be in GBs. It will be in 5 GB or 6 GB. Sometimes, if you keep running the code again and again, so it can go to some 10 GB, 20 GB also. Some one day your system can crash. Okay, so that is the reason you're supposed to take, and it is not required also. Generally, you have to take the screenshot during the failures scenario so that you get some information why the test is failed. Okay, so let's look at this code. I need to add system.set property.
I have a small question.
Yes.
So you were talking about some space consuming thing. So is it like uh, multiple times you run the test, so multiple times the files are created and it's saved in the system? Is it?
Will be failed. So if you run once, there are some screenshots are created. If you run it again, if you don't clear those screenshots, so another set of screenshots will be created on the same place. Okay, that creates a problem.
Okay.
So it's better before you run it, you clear up you delete all the screenshots. Okay, so here what I'm doing, I'm opening the Firefox browser and I'm loading the facebook.com and I'm trying to find out an element. Okay, driver.find element by ID invalid, some XYZ or some element I'm giving. Okay, so what happens at line number 22? You will be trying to find out an element. That element is not exist in the screen in the web page. It will throw an exception. Okay, and during the exception, during the catch, I'm taking the screenshot. Okay, so please take these two lines for taking the screenshot. So there is a method called driver.getScreen. There is a method called getScreenshot as. There is a method called getScreenshot as. Okay, and for which you need to pass the input output type.file. because you wanted to take the screenshot in a file. You want to take the screenshot in a file, so you have to pass the output type as file. There are other categories also. Output type as base64 bytes, etc is there, which is not required for us because we are trying to take the screenshot in the file. Base64 and all, if you give, it will be in the memory only. So you get the file object. It's an object. It is an object, file object, and that is in the memory. You get a file object that will be in the memory. So you need to bring that file object in the memory to a physical file. And for that reason, we use this file utils dot copy file. File utils is a third party class. You have to download a jar for it and add it to your build path. Sorry, you have to say jar download. Take this bin file. So we'll also have another topic. So where do you take the screenshot when it comes to framework, automation framework? That also I'll explain in the later time. But for now, just try to understand what is the code which we use to get the screenshot.
Can I write the code from
Yeah, I'll give the time. So go to the project, build path, add external jars. So you don't need to add each and everything. Only this one is enough. The Java doc sources are not required. Only that one is enough. Commons IO 2.6.jar is enough. I think in the later version, it got changed to file handler. I think. Let's see. Or maybe the method is changed. File utils. Copy file. I think you don't need this. We'll see. Okay, let's run this code. Let's make sure it is generating a screenshot first of all. Okay, you can see that main.png. This is a screen. This is a screen. And one more thing I told, you need to have commons IO dot, where is that? Those and all is not required. Okay, you don't need to download any charge. So if you see that Selenium itself, previously, this is not available in Selenium, probably in the latest version. There is a class called file handler in Selenium. In the Selenium itself, there is a class called file handler. Okay, so using the file handler, you can copy the file object to a physical file, that is main.png. So the reason which I'm giving system.current_time in millisecond is, okay, if I don't give this one, whenever you run the code, the same file will be replaced again and again. Whenever you run the code, the same file will be replaced again and again. So to make sure that every time I save it to a different file, I take main and then I append system.current_time in milliseconds, which will give you a unique number. Something like this, 1 5 2 3 4 something. It gives you a unique number. That way you can always keep the latest images separately. Okay, so let me run the code once again. I'll show you. It will create one more file.
So Sudhir, where this image is stored?
Can you repeat, Shamishta?
So where this image is stored?
I'll show you that here only.
So we have defined that place, or it will.
When you don't define any path, it will be stored in the current project.
Okay.
When you don't define any path, it will be stored in the current project. This is the another image, latest image. Okay, so there are two images are created. So please take these two lines. So these are the two lines which will help you in taking the screenshot. So in the driver, in the web driver, there is a method called get screenshot as, to which you need to pass a parameter as output type.file, which will give you a file object. And this file object will be in the memory. You need to bring it to a physical file, for which we copy. We use a copy method. So where you pass the source file and where you pass the physical file in your current project. You can copy to any folder. You can say C:/Sudhir/screens/ okay, some xyz.png. Okay, you can give the path of the file. If you don't give the path of the file and you just give the name of the file, it will be stored in your current project. In the next class, I'll also show you in the automation framework where you take the screenshot. This is a simple sample example to explain how do you take the screenshot. But we need to add these two lines of code in our framework. And where do we add it? So whenever an exception occurs, you automatically have to take the screenshot. How do you take it? What is the approach? Let's say you are running 100 test methods. In the 100 test methods, some 7 tests are failed. And for these 7 tests, the screenshot has to be taken automatically. So how do you do that? So that topic we'll discuss going forward. For now, any questions in understanding how do you take the screenshot? If you don't understand what is system.current_time and all those things, simply you take main.png. That's a file name.
So can you write both of them?
Yeah, I'll do that. So this is something you maintain it uniquely. Okay. If you want to maintain the file name always uniquely, you do like this. Only these two lines. Please let me know once you're done.
Sudhir, I have another question.
Done.
Yeah. Sudhir, I have another question.
Hmm.
So, like, you have defined as PNG. So, is it like that is the default?
No, no, no. You can give anything. JPEG, JPG, .png. The format can be anything.
So, is it like others will take more memory or like that, or they all?
No, no, no. I don't think so.
Okay.
You can give anything. Yeah. In the next class, I'll show you how to add, how to take the screenshot in your automation framework. This is our automation framework, right? Okay, where do you take that screenshot? In which line, in which place you add it? So that whenever an exception is occurred, automatically it will take care of the taking of screenshot. Okay, that I'll show you. But generally, even though you are using in the framework or you are using in any other place, these two lines of code has to be executed. If you want to take the screenshot, however it is, wherever it is, these two lines of code should be executed. Then only the screenshot will be generated. Otherwise, it will not be generated. Okay, and yeah, the remaining topics I'll take tomorrow. So before I wind up, Samrista, you asked me how to import the project. Am I right?
Yes, yes.
Can you share your screen? I'll show you, and it also helpful for others if it are anybody stuck. You already downloaded my project, which I shared in the Google Drive.
Let me see.
Okay. If not, I'll do one thing. Let's look at everybody. I'll show you how to import a Maven project. I request all of you to record the session so that you will be having the steps. I'll download the project and I'll import it. I hope everybody received the link where I have shared the Selenium project. So this is the project I have shared. I'm going to explain how to import a Maven project. So this is the project which is available here. Let's download it. I'm downloading the zip file. Does anybody downloaded it? Has anybody tried downloaded it? It's very strange. I'm the author. I'm the one who shared. You guys are able to download. Okay, that's great at least. It's very strange why it is not allowing me. Others are able to download it, right? Okay. Okay. So whatever is the reason, let's leave it. Okay. So I'm going to explain. I'm going to explain how to import a Maven project. Okay, let's do that. So I'm going to explain how to import a Maven project. So this is the Maven project, which is available here, and it is zipped. It is zipped already. Okay, let's extract it. When you extract it, you get to see a folder like this. Okay, and to make sure that it is a Maven project, so please look at, there should be pom.xml. Every Maven project should contain pom.xml. Then only you can say that is a Maven project. Okay, fine. So this is a Maven project, right? So let's take the path of it. It is available under the Sudhir folder. Copy it. Keep that path ready. Now what you can do is go to Eclipse, File. You can say import. Type Maven. You get to see existing Maven project. Click on that. and click on next. Copy the folder path and click on browse. Okay, you can see the Maven project that we have extracted. Select the Maven project, that you wanted to import using the browse option. Select it, click on open, and you can see the pom.xml will be shown here. Click on finish. It will take some time to import. At the bottom, you can see importing Maven project 9%. It will take some time. Let's wait for it. Now 100% is done. It is building the workspace. 75%, 100% it is done. Now you can see the Maven project is imported in your workspace and it is ready to use. Okay. You can also cross check all the Maven dependencies are downloaded. Okay. No more compilation errors. There are no compilation errors. Everything is looks perfectly all right. Okay. So this is how you import a Maven project. Yeah, coming to the drive. Let me see. There are many files there. You can see pom.xml, src target. There are many files. I don't know why you see only 4 files. And I also facing some problem. Let's figure it out. If anybody has that Google Drive link, please share me. Or anyway, I'll find it out. Okay, let's click on this. This is the link which I shared to all of you, right? So let's click on that. Okay. So what you can do is download on. Click on download on. It is taking some time. Okay. So this is what it is available. Copy that and keep it into a different form. So Samritha, you asked what are the different types of exceptions. Okay, so these things should come on the experience. You start running the code, you see some failures, you see different exceptions. Okay, so I request all of you to start practicing it, and you start seeing different kinds of exceptions. But anyway, I'll send you some information on that. Okay, fine. Let's meet tomorrow at the same time. We'll work on other topics. Yeah, thanks everyone. Take care. Bye.